Shalom and welcome to the BeritHadasah, otherwise known as the New Testament. We are in 2 Corinthians chapter 6, starting at verse 1. 2 Corinthians 6:1. As God's fellow workers, we also urge you not to receive his gift and then do nothing with it, for he says, at the acceptable time I heard you. In the day of salvation I helped you. We try not to put obstacles in anyone's path so that no one can find fault with the work we do. On the contrary, we try to commend ourselves in every way as workers for God, who continually enduring troubles, hardships, and calamities, beatings, imprisonments, riots, overwork, lack of sleep and food. We commend ourselves by our purity, knowledge, patience, and kindness, by the Ruach HaKodesh, by genuineness of love and truthfulness of speech, and by God's power. We command ourselves through our use of righteous weapons, whether for pressing our cause or defending it, through being honored and dishonored, praised and blamed, considered deceptive and sincere, unknown and famous, and we command ourselves as God's workers headed for death. Yet look, we're alive, as punished, yet not killed, as having reason to be sad, yet always filled with joy, as poor, yet making many people rich, as having nothing, yet having everything. Dear friends in Corinth, we have spoken frankly to you. We have opened our hearts wide, and constraint you feel has not been imposed by us, but by our own inner selves. So just to be fair, I'm using the language of children. Open wide your hearts too. Do not yoke yourselves together in a team with unbelievers, for how can righteousness and lawlessness be patterns? What fellowship does light have with darkness? What harmony can there be between the Messiah and Belial? What does a believer have in common with an unbeliever? What agreement can there be between the temple of God and idols? For we are the temple of the living God, as God said, I will house myself in them, and I will walk among you. I will be their God, and they will be my people. Therefore, Adonai says, go out from their midst, separate yourselves, don't even touch what is unclean. Then I myself will receive you. In fact, I will be your father, and you will be my sons and daughters, says Adonai Zvaot. Chapter 7. Therefore, my dear friends, since we have these promises, let us purify ourselves from everything that can defile either body or spirit, and strive to be completely holy out of reverence of God. Make room for us in your hearts. We haven't wronged anyone. We haven't corrupted anyone. We haven't exploited anyone. I am not saying this to put blame on you, for I have already said that you have a place in our hearts. Whether we live together or die together, that I am very confident in you, that I am very proud of you, that you have filled me with encouragement, and that in spite of our troubles, I am overflowing with joy. For indeed, when we come to Macedonia, our bodies had no rest, On the contrary, we face all kinds of troubles, alter- altercations without, apprehensions within. But God, who encouraged the downhearted, encouraged us with the arrival of Titus. However, it was not only his arrival which encouraged us, but also how encouraged he was about you, as he told us how you long to see me, how distressed you are with my situation, how serious you are in my defense. This news made me even happier. If I caused you pain by my letter, I do not regret it, even if I did regret it before, for I do see that the letter did distress you through only for a short time. Now I rejoice, not because you were pained, but because the pain led you to turn back to God, for you handled the pain in God's way, so that you were not harmed by us at all. Pain handled in God's way produced a turning from sin to God, which led to salvation, and there is nothing to regret in that. But pain handled in the world's way produces only death. For you look at what handling the pain production producing you was earned diligently with eagerness to clear yourself with indignation, what fear, what longing, what zeal, what readiness to put things right. In everything you have proved yourself blameless in the matter. So even though I wrote to you, it was not for the sake of either the one who did the wrong or the one through who wronged, but but so that before God you would see for yourself how deep is your devotion to us. This is the reason we have been encouraged. Besides our own encouragement, we have the even greater joy of seeing how happy Titus was, because all of you set his mind at rest. For I have boasted somewhat about you to him, and now I have not been made to look foolish. On the contrary, just as everything we have said to you is true, so that our boasting in front of Titus has proved true, and his affection for you is all the greater as he remembers how ready you were to obey and how you received him with reverence and respect. I am glad that I can have such complete confidence in you. May the Lord add his blessings to the reading of his word.